We've had peace in these lands for many years now. But one of our villages burned tonight.
War is coming.
An invasion.
If we do not unite to fight this enemy, our world will perish.
Saving the world is not a one-man job.
We fight together or we die together.
You'll have me to protect you.
I need no one to protect me.
Well then. They're stronger. Be smarter.
This war will destroy us all. But together, we might stand a chance.
Whatever you plan to do it now!
You guys, thank you so much for being here to talk about this little tiny movie that isn't set to like break box office records this weekend or anything. Did all of you know the scope of Warcraft when you signed on?
I'd never heard of it.
Yeah,
I didn't.
I didn't know either. But
I think Rob here was.
I knew a little bit, but I've talked about my obsession for so long.
18 hours a day.
18 hours a day.
Oh, 18
yeah,
hours?
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's standard. Like if you were hardcore competitive raider, then 18 hours a day was, you spend 5 hours raiding and then 13 hours setting up. That's
No wonder you told me that my friend's husband was like the 2 hours you were like.
Yeah, Donna came up and she was like, my friend's husband, he used to play like 2 hours on a Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I was like, fucking casual.
No, he literally was like, that is not even, like, don't
That's
even
nothing.
bring this up. All right, Ben, fess up. Are you like 18 hours a day, 19 hours a day? What's
Of what?
I'm playing it right now.
No, but how did each of you come to do this? Starting with you, sir.
I heard about it and I Skyped with Duncan. And Duncan's a director, Duncan Jones, fantastic director.
He's a fantastic. He did source code. He's so talented.
Yeah.
And Moon.
And Moon, yeah. And he, I Skyped with him and he told me about the film and how popular and that it was. And I felt like the only person who'd never heard of Warcraft. But his passion for it really drove me to do it, and I wanted to work with him. And then I found out what a great cast it is, and I always wanted to meet Ben Foster. So this is my opportunity.
Really? So you actually, like, for years, were like, when you were
Yeah.
shooting Vikings, you're like, damn, I wish I could meet Ben Foster.
Ben Foster.
Okay. All right, cool. That's
It's
awesome.
reasonable. He's a really great actor. Absolutely.
I was a big Lance Armstrong fan, and then Ben Foster was cast. It just... the whole thing.
Ben, I'm sorry. I think it's all said in love.
Oh,
You guys seem like a really great group, actually, so...
I will say this, is that this was a hell of a team. Like, we had 2 different camps on this movie, and I've not worked on anything where there's been as much fun on set. Like, Travis had a raccoon on a remote-controlled car that he would drive around. You remember that? And we had so much fun making this movie. I mean, I think that's what you get when you're doing something that is inherently ridiculous as a high fantasy premise movie. We had a lot of fun making it. It was a lot of fun on set.
And you, Paula, I read that you said that you and Travis had almost a cosmic connection when you first met.
Boom.
It's true, actually. We had a chemistry read. They did that. And so when I first met Travis, it's true, he looked down the hallway and he said, holy something. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cute. And then we made out in front of producers. And turns out he's a good kisser. So yeah, I felt comfortable with him right away.
Wait, they sat you down and they're like, okay, and go.
Yeah, no, I mean, when he pulled my hair and forget it. It's on the tape that I don't know who has it where. I'm actually not lying.
When do we get to see the? When do we get to see this video?
It's true.
Is it going to be on the Blu-ray?
I was like, and you don't pull a black girl's hair, okay? But he did it with care. Like he had clearly been with other black girls because he didn't like go right. Because anyways, but yeah, he did it. That's when I knew that it was going to work out.
I had to do the same thing with Duncan Jones. I think Travis had definitely the winning combination.
I'm absolutely.
All right, so Ben, who did you have to kiss?
I'm a lonely wizard.
Okay. Let's talk about Duncan, actually, since he's not here. And I know this was such a labor of love for him. He's been a gamer for years, from what I've read, and he really pushed to be on this project. What do you guys think he brought as a director? Are you still? Oh, are you?
Yeah, it's over here for a second.
Having a moment over here?
We had a moment. We haven't seen each other in a while. No, Duncan's amazing. It's incredible. He really is. I mean, the truth is that you actually can't understand how great of a director he is until you watch the film. It's a magnificent thing. I don't usually watch anything I'm in that much. And oddly enough, I've seen this movie 4 times. I know, but it's because there's so much that I see each time. There's incredible artwork. This is a movie where like there's all these little bitty details, and you see it in IMAX, you see it in 3D, and I don't know. This movie changed my life, so I have a soft spot for it, but I know I'm a harsh critic, and I have to step away from it, and I have to give Duncan so much credit because it takes so much work to create something like this, and so many people that put their love and care and passion into this. And I remember the first time I watched it by myself in a theater, and I was like, oh my gosh, they did it. And then I've come to enjoy it more and more, and that's genuine. I know that people have to promote movies, and oftentimes we lie. I've done it, but I didn't feel that way with this, and so it's special. It's really
when you're
incredible
dealing
film.
with a computer game crossover, which, I mean, historically they've just been different levels of bad. You need somebody who kind of understands the pitfalls of making something like this and what a studio will try and do, and to try and keep it a good film is you need somebody that understands that kind of filmmaking. And Duncan never wanted to make a computer game movie. He never wanted to cash in on an existing product. He wanted to make a good movie. And having somebody that understood that, the difference between a computer game and a movie, but also loved both, that was kind of really important into crafting something. Crafting Warcraft into being...
Well done.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Crafting it into actually being a movie. Oh. Yeah.
Don't be jealous.
No, I just got it.
No, keep going.
No, that was the end.
Oh, that was the end?
Yeah, he did really well. Good job.
Well, but in all seriousness, piggybacking on what you were saying, movies that are about video games focus on the video games. This movie has heart, and it has a story, and it's about corruption and what you do with power when you have it, and how you misuse it or use it, how you protect others. How did each of you approach your characters in that regard? Because really, it's the characters that make the story.
Well, I'm not sure about my character, but I really enjoyed the aspect of the film where there's the 2 species and they're fighting over the one world, but there's good and bad in each species. So you can root for either, The heroes, not that I'm a hero, but there's heroes on both sides, and they're all flawed. It's not the typical good guy versus bad guy all the time. And Paula's got a great answer for her character.
No, and Paula, your character is like the badass female. Jesus, like you do not see that a lot on screen. I mean, she is a fighter. Her look is amazing, and she is a warrior all the way.
Can we record that? And I just want to play it when I wake up in the morning. I really appreciate that. It was a blessing to be able to play this part. She goes through quite a transition. She begins as a slave to Gul'dan, the most powerful orc in Orcland, and played by Daniel Wu. And where she ends at the end of the film is quite different, and that was really fun to play. So it's so hard to say. I don't think that, for me, I don't approach anything thinking about all of the things you spoke of earlier. You just go, how, well, I was scared to death, to be honest with you. I didn't know how I'd do it, but how do you find the heart and soul and connect with it so it actually feels right inside of you? And you need all the things. Like, I don't know how Rob did what he did, to be honest with you. I need all the help I can get. I need props, I need makeup, I need tusks, and it's kind of a magnificent thing that you see the acting job that is done by Rob and by Toby and by Daniel and Clancy, that they're wearing, you guys, the most ridiculous outfits you've ever seen. It's why I really never talked to any of them, but until afterwards. I'm joking, but okay, anyways, blue pajamas from head to toe, and all these white balls all over them, and they're meant to be fearsome orcs, and that they did it, and the soul and the spirit, and it's all in their eyes, and it's
yeah,
it's
but
remarkable.
in fairness, like,
Again?
well, we'd get into pajamas and we'd go and prance around and we'd do that, but when we would start at 6:30 in the morning, Paula had already done 4 hours of makeup. So, you know, it's very nice that you're throwing me that, but it's like we had it so easy compared to all these guys and their wigs and their extensions and their massive armor plating. And we were just, me, Toby, Daniel, we're just getting our pajamas every morning and prance around with genitals on show. Believe me, there's no hiding. And we wouldn't even have real weapons. We'd have sticks with lights on. So, I mean, when it comes to difficulty in performance, we were looking at you guys just, I mean, we'd done it, so we understood, but we were just laughing, mainly.
You're being humble because you actually, there's quite a precision to what you have to do.
Look,
No, seriously, think about it. The way you have to walk, that you can't turn a certain way.
the
You can't
difference is
cheat at all.
Costume informs character a lot of the time. You know, when you put on your armor, it informs the kind of person you're playing, and a lot, you know, like we have.
Wait, are you backing out on your last answer?
No, yeah, actually, I'm going to change it because someone's trying to compliment you, so I'm just going to compliment myself. You know, it's just a different discipline. You know, our costume, instead of one that was built around us, was one that it was one just imagination. And
So you had the toughest and the easiest job.
No, it was super easy. Like, straight up, super easy.
He's not interviewing you.
Do you think you're overpaid?
No, we just...
Look, give me my pajamas or give me what you had to wear any day, and I would pick pajamas 9 times out of 9.
Really?
Yeah.
That blows my mind.
Really, honestly, I would do. This is my first motion capture job. It's like Toby's 8th, and I would. It was the most rewarding experience I've ever had creatively, and I would happily stay mocap. I probably will have to for the rest of my career. It was really wonderful, and I honestly, I recommend to anyone that's in this industry, if you're an actor, to really struggle and try and find and do a job with this, whether it's on a computer game or something. Motion capture gave me more than any other job I'd ever done before.
Just so we can continue the interviewing him, could you tell us about Terry Notary?
Yeah, Terry Notary, Google him. Terry Notary is a movement coach, and he's kind of like one of these unsung heroes of Hollywood, and he teaches us how to move. He taught us how to be dwarves on The Hobbit and how to be orcs on this, and he taught you guys and helped you develop a physical vocabulary for casting magic, and he's kind of like this, he's this tiny little muscular little monster who used to be Cirque du Soleil. And one day I remember he was trying to explain to me how like this stuff matters. And I was like, this is just airy-fairy bullshit. I'm not listening. This is ridiculous. I feel stupid. And then he decided to just be an ape. But awkwardly long. For like 8 minutes, he kept on being this ape and wouldn't stop being this ape. And like, it was funny. And then it was awkward, and then it was just really funny, and then he was just really threatening, and then, like, by the end of it, I was like, okay, damn, man, this is really impressive stuff. And without him, the orcs wouldn't have worked. And without him, a lot of the movies that you've seen wouldn't have worked. He's if you IMDb this guy, he's worked and made and been one of the most integral and unsung parts of so many movies that you've loved.
I love that we just gave someone a shout out.
Terry Notary.
That wouldn't, you know. Well done, Ben. What did you bring to your character, do you think?
Terry Notary.
And next question. No, I'm kidding.
I wear press-on nails. I've never worn press-on nails. as a gentleman with a button-up fly, you learn a lot of things quickly with press-on nails. So I became
how easily they come off.
how easily they come off. So I became increasingly envious of Rob and the Pajama Gang, and
Pajama Gang.
and at which point I wanted to understand maybe I could change jobs or roles, and saw this man conducting the Pajama Gang and showing them how to move, and it was amazing to watch full-grown adults in their jammies at 8 in the morning being like, and you believed it. I believed it. So I went up to Terry and said, I need help with my press-on nails. Help me cast some spells. Let's build, as you were saying, a physical vocabulary that could dance later with the technology and the special effects. At which point, basically, it just in the script, and then he casts a spell. And you're like, well, how do you do that? So we built this language, and that was the great joy of working on this job. That interface. Yeah.
And are you like a manicurist now in your spare time?
I only relax getting mani-pedis. Yeah.
I'm just wondering.
But with the fish that eat the, yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Travis, how did the physicality of your role in the Vikings impact your performance here?
Yeah, it certainly helped. I came straight from Vikings to Vancouver, and we had an amazing stunt team on both jobs. But it was a great stunt team, and I had a great stunt double that made me look a lot better than I was. But it was great. We were riding horses all day and being like little kids with swords. And it was good fun. And we ended up just hiding behind Paula's character. She was a real destroyer.
You know, they're all being very, very humble, but that's total bullshit because, like...
I'm so glad you're here because they're literally making it seem like
honestly,
no big deal, you show up on set.
Honestly, like, Travis brought a kind of physicality and gravitas to this that completely belies his age, and Lothar wouldn't have worked without it.
Hey.
It wouldn't.
That was a good undercut. I like that.
Paula is literally the only person in the world that could have played Garona with that kind of sympathy and toughness as well. And without Ben, none of this would have worked because he brought an integrity to something that is inherently ridiculous that I don't know any other actor could have brought. So you're all being very humble, but like really, you did. Like these guys were phenomenal, and they're sitting there and saying that it was easy and that we had the pajamas and we really suffered. But these guys did an amazing job.
Paula, how long did it take you to get into costume?
The costume? Oh, well, it depended on which one. At the beginning, not very long at all. I'm barely dressed. It's bra and panties kind of situation. But then, yeah, I got to have the human battle clothing. Armor. Thank you. I am still a girl in many ways. So that took more time. But it wasn't the costume. It was the makeup. It was the wig. It was the tusk, the contacts. But it's weird. You know, you complain about these things maybe in the moment, but I really came to love it, and I love that transformation. Garona, she changed me also. I mean, without question, she gave me strength in my mind, my heart, my spirit. So it was worth all the makeup and all of the time and all of that because this was a really incredible experience making this film.
What did each of you, the three of you, take away from the experience? The dudes. We're talking to the Travis, man, I adore you.
I made great friends on the film, and it was such a different experience. I mean, I've never done motion capture stuff before and gone through that and so much CG. And I had no idea how much work goes into making a film like this. There's so many people behind the scenes that did a tremendous job, you know, from set designs to costumes to Paula's abs to makeup and hair. You know, it was just a great experience all around.
And what about you, Ben? Because you gave your character so much depth and soul.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It's true.
It was getting to work with Duncan. It's a privilege being on the other side of the camera, where you get to watch a filmmaker. I had originally seen Moon and thought what he did on on a lower budget was so inventive, so restrained, and such intelligent work to take on something as large as this, as potentially daunting as this. It was wonderful to watch, and if you'll excuse it, the magic that he worked on set, which was incorporating so many different departments, with real sets, with special effects, with motion capture, set design. This is not a simple gig.
Yeah, I mean, I think it took 2 years from start to finish.
He put his heart and soul into this and fought a lot of good fights, and I just admire the hell out of him.
Well, I mean, I've said this before, and I know you hate it when I compliment you, but like, I think we got two of the best actors in the world here with Foster and Toby Kebbell, and I got to watch both of these guys work, and I learned more working every day with Toby, and I learned from watching Ben and what he brought to this. I learned more about acting than I had in like my previous 30 years. So for me, this was a huge learning curve, and learning from not just people like Duncan, but all these guys that were on set every single day and bringing truth and integrity to something which was difficult to find.
And last question before we go to the audience. As I was saying, my friend's husband, who was obsessed with Warcraft, can't even see the movie because he said it would break his heart too much that he had to give it up. That is how, I mean, I think it's the most played video game ever,
100 million unique accounts over its life.
So how did you guys each approach a movie of this scope? Do you have to just kind of not let yourself think of what a massive endeavor this is? Or is that part of the appeal?
I think you really just have to trust your director. Like normal jobs, you're doing a finished product when you're acting. You know, they put music on and edit it. But with this, it's like you said, a 2.5 year process. And there's just so much. You just need such a good director like Duncan to do it. You know, what was the question like?
You answered it.
No idea. I just think I want you to speak at my funeral. You say the nicest things about people, don't you?
He does.
You know, I think the microcosm of just performance is always going to be the same no matter the scope of the project. And, you know, it does help when you got someone like Duncan that allows us to play the way we wanted to play.
Anything to add?
I think I was very nervous at the beginning. And then you have to kind of let it go. You have to take a leap of faith, jump off the mountain, hope the net appears, and then you have to let go of all that. Because else, for me, I'd be paralyzed thinking about that the whole time. But certainly beforehand, and then once you finish it, you hope also that you don't fall flat on your face and disappoint a lot of people. But in the moment, you have to sort of just believe.
Anything to add, Ben, or?
It's really strong.
I'm putting you on the spot. Just believe.
Yeah.
I like that. And now to our audience, please. I'm sure you guys have some questions.
Hey, Paula, you said you were inspired by your character. Were you surprised how much character development or personality this character had?
Oh, no, I wasn't surprised, but I was overwhelmed by it. I mean, there's just so much that goes into what you have to do, I guess, mentally to find a character. And usually for me, what I do is I at least try to find somebody who is like the character I'm playing in a movie. You know, that maybe they have the same job or something. All the information possible that makes me feel more confident when I have to go to work. But I didn't know any orcs, and
I was about to say, like that might be a little tough with this one.
Yeah, where did I go from there? So that was like really scary to me. And so it began a really different way, which was that the physical started to inform the mental, you know, and the heart and my soul, and it was really hard. I mean, I don't know. They wanted me to look like an orc potentially, and you should have seen. I won't say who, but the pictures of people. And the muscle tone was so, it was quite a bit of muscle and a lot of protein that was being encouraged for me to drink and consume. And the workouts were crazy. And some days you just were like, I don't know if I'll ever do this. And then you do, and then you learn more and more. And through I guess, getting through those challenges, they helped me find Garona. helped me find the warrior in her and then the warrior in myself a bit. I look up to her. I got some ways to go, but she definitely gave me strength.
Next question, please.
Hey guys, good evening. I love the dynamic on stage. To be honest, I've never played World of Warcraft, so I don't know too much about it, but because you guys are killing up there, I'm definitely gonna check out the movie June 10th. For other non-gamers out there, what are some things they could get excited about, I guess, when checking out the film?
I mean, we haven't made a film for the gamers. That's the first thing that you want to kind of ram home. We've made the only reason.
Non-gamers, Rob, non-gamers.
Sorry.
Love.
Yeah, we've made.
Sorry,
the idea
story.
is we made a film that's a good movie, and that's how we honor the game and the people that play the game by making that. So if you played the game or not, you get to go and watch a great movie that's essentially about war and the people in it and the relationships in it and the stresses and the hubris. It's a character-based piece set in an extreme situation. So if you've never seen the movie, you're not going to miss anything. But if you've never seen the game, you're not going to miss anything. But if you have played the game, you're going to see a slightly different film from your perspective.
And our last question, please.
Hey guys, when you're working on a movie, sometimes you don't always know how it's going to turn out. When you were working on this, especially with so much special effects, did you know like how it was going to turn out or what it was going to look like at the end?
Why are you looking at me, man?
Because you haven't talked lately.
I had no idea, to be honest. That's why I had to put so much trust in your director. Yeah, because you're looking at these guys and not like they say that they're in their pajamas. And you don't know what you're looking at half the time. Oh, once I saw the film, I'm like, I finally got it, you know? It's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, one thing I will add as well is, because I don't talk enough, one thing that's great about being motion capture is you don't have to have abs. So, again, like I'd be sitting there and I didn't have to get in shape for this at all. I shaved my head and I put on like 30 pounds of just fat. Like my pajamas got really tight towards the end. And me and Toby would be sitting there chowing down on a couple of donuts and we'd see Paula over there eating one of her 3 almonds that she's allowed. And it's just like, it's pajamas all the way, thanks. That's great.
Dear God, I think you've done more for the motion capture industry than
Every
anyone
actor's
I've ever
like, well,
spoken to.
fuck that, I'm going mocap.
And the movie opens on Friday. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.